Everyone in the auditorium laughed when 12-year-old Jaden stepped forward with his science project, an old shoebox, some copper wire, and a plastic soda bottle. Even the head judge, a billionaire tech mogul named Vincent Rourke, leaned back in his leather chair and smirked. "Is that a toy?" he said loud enough for the audience to hear. But what happened next made the entire panel fall silent, because when Jaden flipped the switch, the air itself changed, and what he revealed left the room breathless. If you're watching this, prepare to feel something real, because what you're about to witness is not just a story about science, it's about perception, resilience, and how sometimes genius wears hand-me-down sneakers. It starts in a town most maps forget. Jaden lives with his grandmother in a crumbling apartment above an old laundromat. His mother disappeared when he was 5. His father? Just a name on a birth certificate. Every day after school, Jaden scours junkyards, collecting discarded electronics, not for fun, but for purpose. He believes every broken thing still holds power, if you know how to see it. The local science fair was never supposed to be for kids like him. Sponsored by Rourke Technologies, it drew students from elite prep schools, each with polished presentations and expensive components. Jaden had none of that, just an idea, a theory he discovered late one night when the lights went out during a thunderstorm, and he noticed something strange in how sound traveled through metal. For weeks, he worked in silence. No internet, no lab, just instinct, memory, and grit. His project? A prototype acoustic converter designed to transform low-frequency sound waves into usable kinetic energy. In theory, it could power a light bulb with just a whisper, but theory means little when you're wearing patched jeans and entering a room filled with suits. The auditorium is packed. Cameras stream the event live. Students present hydrogen fuel cells, AI assistants, and genetically modified plants. Each one earns applause. Then it's Jaden's turn. He walks onto the stage slowly, gripping his shoebox like it's made of glass. The murmurs begin immediately. Did he make that an art class? Is this a joke? Vincent Rourke shifts in his seat, bored. "Name?" he asks. "Jaden Carter." The boy replies softly. Rourke glances at the clipboard. "You listed your project as Soundwave Reclamation Unit. That sounds ambitious." Jaden doesn't respond. Instead, he places the shoebox on the table, opens it, and reveals a tangle of coils, magnets, and circuitry soldered together by hand. A cracked phone screen acts as the interface. No branding, no polish, just raw innovation. The judges lean in, amused. "Go ahead," Rourke says. "Show us what you've got." Jaden swallows hard, then whispers into a small copper funnel attached to the device. For a heartbeat, nothing happens. Then, click. The bulb lights, bright, steady, real. Gasps ripple through the room. "That's not possible," one judge murmurs. Jaden explains, voice shaking but sure. The device captures low-frequency vibrations, converts them to electrical impulses, and stores them briefly. It doesn't need a power source, just sound. He claps softly near the funnel. The bulb flashes again. Silence falls like thunder. Vincent Rourke sits forward, suddenly alert. "How did you build this?" Jaden looks up, eyes steady. "I listened." The judges scramble. One checks the wiring, another inspects the core, a third runs a diagnostic. This isn't a trick. It's scalable. Rourke's face tightens. "Where did you get the design?" Jaden blinks. "I made it." "You made it?" "I noticed how sound moved through broken metal in our walls during storms. I figured it could do more." The billionaire's smirk fades. "That's impossible. There's no precedent." Jaden shrugs. "Maybe you're just not listening closely enough." The audience erupts. Phones go up. Hashtags explode. Hashtag Jaden Carter trends within the hour. But behind Rourke's eyes, something darker stirs. Later, backstage, Rourke approaches the boy alone. His voice, low, calculated. "You didn't just build a gadget. You built a problem." Jaden frowns. "A problem?" "If that device is real, and it is, it threatens patents worth billions. Do you know how many companies would lose control if people could make energy from whispers? I didn't build it to threaten anyone. I built it because my grandma couldn't afford batteries. Rourke steps closer. Name your price. We'll buy it right now. But Jaden doesn't flinch. It's not for sale. The air sharpens, and then a voice cuts through the tension. Judge Ramirez, a Nobel Prize winner in theoretical physics. Mr. Rourke, step away from the boy. She places a protective arm around Jaden and turns to the press gathering nearby. This is not just a science fair project. This is a revolution, and no corporation is going to bury it. Flashes go off. Rourke walks away, seething. As the crowd parts, Jaden sees his grandmother near the back, her eyes wet with pride. He runs into her arms, and for the first time in a long time, he feels seen. But just when the story seems to end, a shadowed man in a dark blazer steps from the wings. He slips a card into Jaden's palm without a word and vanishes into the crowd. Jaden opens it. One line. "We've been waiting for you. Project Echo." His breath catches. What is Project Echo? What do they want with him? The bulb glows again in his backpack, pulsing like a heartbeat. The world is watching now, and Jaden Carter's journey? It's only just begun.
The card in Jaden's palm feels heavier than paper, like it carries weight beyond its ink. "We've been waiting for you. Project Echo." He reads the line again and again. Around him, the auditorium still buzzes with reporters and stunned judges, but Jaden only hears his own breath. His grandmother notices the shift in his face. "What is it, baby?" He tucks the card into his sleeve. "Nothing," he says, but deep down, something has already changed. That night, while the world debates the authenticity of his project, Jaden sits alone on the fire escape, staring at the sky. His shoebox invention lies beside him, still glowing faintly. Then, his phone buzzes. No number, just a location and a time. Midnight, Warehouse 17. His finger hovers over delete, but he doesn't, because part of him needs to know. 12 hours later, the warehouse looms on the edge of the city, rusted, abandoned, but not empty. Inside, fluorescent lights flicker to life, revealing a circle of strangers, scientists, engineers, a former astronaut, all watching as the boy in hand-me-downs walks through the door. One of them, a woman in a blue scarf and lab goggles, steps forward. "You're early," she says. "We like that." Jaden looks around. What is this place? It's the Echo Lab, a private alliance of minds who believe the future shouldn't be built by the rich, but by the right. They've all seen his science fair video, and more. "We traced the waveform patterns in your converter. It matched a design that disappeared 17 years ago, the Whisper engine, a lost invention by a scientist named Felix Maddox." Jaden's heart skips. "That's my mom's name. Maddox." Gasps. The woman in the blue scarf steps back. "Your mother was one of us." Jaden stares at them. "What do you mean, was?" The lights flicker. A hum fills the air. The projector buzzes and displays an old photo. His mother, young and radiant, standing beside a prototype almost identical to his. She cracked the first resonance formula, said energy was hidden in everything, even silence. But before she could finish her work, she vanished. Jaden grips the shoebox tighter. "She didn't vanish. She left. Everyone said she just left." The woman places a hand gently on his shoulder. "Or she was taken." A silence follows. Heavy. Devastating. "By who?" he whispers. "Rourke. Or someone he works for. We don't know. But he wasn't laughing when she outshone him either." The projector switches to schematics, and the room darkens. "Your device, Jaden, it's not just a converter. It's a key. Your mom coded an access signature into the first prototype, a frequency-based cipher that could activate something else, something buried deep within the grid." The screen flashes. Project Fathom, restricted network access, locked since 2011. Jaden blinks. What is it open? No one knows, the blue scarf woman says. We were hoping you could help us find out. They hand him a headset, a scanner, and the shoebox. If your mother encrypted the key in your bloodline, maybe only you can unlock it. Jaden nods slowly. His hands shake, but he places the shoebox in a dock, connects the signal relay, and activates the scanner. Suddenly, a tone pierces the room, low, resonant, like a voice from underground. And then it happens. Every screen goes black, and then green. A phrase appears. Access confirmed. Initiating vault protocol. A map pulses across the screens. Lines threading under cities, oceans, mountains. It's not a lab. It's a network. A buried infrastructure no one knew existed. The room explodes with theories. Is it storage? A defense system? A reactor? But no one has answers. Jaden speaks finally. My mom left me breadcrumbs. This was never about the fair. She wanted me to finish what she started. The lead engineer steps forward. We think the vault is hidden under Ember Bay, an old decommissioned Navy site, but it's locked by frequency. We need to take your device there. Jaden nods slowly, but before they can move, the screens all flash red. Intrusion detected, tracking signal. The blue scarf woman yells, "We've been traced." Sirens, static, a high-pitched hum. Kill the grid! But it's too late. A small drone crashes through the ceiling. Everyone dives. In the chaos, Jaden is pulled through a back corridor by the woman. We have a safe tunnel, but you have to run. As they sprint through the echoing hall, Jaden shouts, "Why are they after it?" Her answer comes as they leap over debris. Because your device can do more than make light from whispers. What else can it do? She doesn't answer. Because right then, boom. A shockwave throws them both to the ground. Smoke, alarms, footsteps behind them. The woman shoves a flash drive into his hand. If they catch you, they'll wipe everything. Hide this, protect it, no matter what. Jaden grabs the drive and turns to ask what's on it. But she's gone. A black-gloved figure stands over her, gun raised. Jaden runs. Out the back. Into the night. Through alleyways, jumping fences, the shoebox rattling in his backpack, the drive clenched in his palm. Sirens scream in the distance. Shadows shift on rooftops. And from somewhere in the city, a voice speaks through a hacked billboard. His mother's voice, distorted but real. Jaden, if you're hearing this, it means they found you. He stops cold. The billboard glitches again. I'm sorry I couldn't stay, but you were always the key. They'll want you to stop, to doubt. Don't. Then silence. Darkness. But a figure steps from the shadows. Hooded. Familiar. Jaden, the figure says. We need to talk. I know where she is. Jaden stares at him, eyes wide. Who are you? The figure removes the hood, and Jaden's knees nearly buckle, because standing before him is someone he buried years ago. Dad?
Jaden's knees weaken. His voice barely escapes. Dead? You're supposed to be dead. The man stares at him, worn face, eyes heavy with history. They made you believe that because the truth would have broken you. Jaden steps back. The drone strike, the flash drive, the voice on the billboard. None of it made sense until now. What is this? Jaden whispers. Why now? Why me? His father reaches into his coat, pulls out a rusted pendant. Inside a photo. His mother holding baby Jaden. Because you're the only one left who can access what she built. They sit in a battered subway car, abandoned, underground, power flickering, tracks gone cold for years. His father places the shoebox on the metal bench. This, he says, was never just a science project. It's a map. He connects wires, slides the flash drive into the port. A 3D hologram hums to life, spinning, glowing, alive. Jaden stares as the lines align. Coordinates, deep beneath the ocean, an island that doesn't appear on any map. Project Fathom, his father says, the final vault, your mother's last stand. Jaden whispers, why would she hide it out there? His father's eyes are tired, because she discovered something inside Fathom, something they were afraid of. He pauses. It wasn't just technology. It was a consciousness. Jaden's throat tightens. Like AI? His father shakes his head. More than that. It was a sentient pattern, a living algorithm. It could learn, predict, manipulate, and if activated by the wrong person, it could control more than machines. Jaden doesn't move. His fingers tighten around the shoebox. So what happens if I go there? His father looks away. Then the war begins. But Jaden already knows he was born for this, not to fight, but to finish what his mother started. The next morning he boards a small stealth vessel. No crew, only coordinates. A storm brews ahead, waves crashing like warning drums. Hours pass. Then rising from the fog like a secret unspoken by the sea, the island, a monolith of stone and silence. At its center, an ancient hatch covered in circuitry, glowing faintly as Jaden approaches. He holds up the shoebox. The sensor scans. Nothing. Then he removes the old photo of his mother and him, places it against the panel. A soft chime. Then a voice. Her voice. Hello, my boy. You finally made it. The hatch opens. Inside, nothing but a chair and a screen, but Jaden knows better. He steps in. The doors close behind him. Lights rise. And then her face. Not a photo, not a memory, but her mind. Simulated, preserved, alive. I knew they'd try to erase me. That's why I encoded myself into this system. I've been waiting. Jaden's eyes blur with tears. Why me? She smiles. Because you didn't just build a project. You built a way forward. Where others saw junk, you saw potential. Where others saw limits, you saw patterns. That's the gift, Jaden. And now the choice. She points to two buttons, one red, one blue. Red destroys this vault, erases me, ends all risks. Blue releases the technology to the world, open source, untouchable by any single power ever again. His hands tremble. One wrong move and humanity could burn, but the right move could ignite the next age of truth. Jaden closes his eyes, breathes deep, and presses blue. The lights surge, the system pulses, then silence, until a final whisper, I'm proud of you. Outside, across the world, screens flicker, firewalls melt, data floods open, innovation awakens. And somewhere in the quiet of his rebuilt workshop, Jaden looks up at the stars, not as the poor boy they laughed at, but as the one who rewrote the future. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, if it made you believe again in the power of the underestimated, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to remember that even from broken pieces, brilliance can rise. Until next time, stay inspired and never stop believing in the impossible.